Inter Milan outlasts Barcelona in an instant classic, a 13-goal semifinal thriller for the ages. On a rain-slicked night at the San Siro, football did not merely entertain, it exploded. The kind of explosion that sends shockwaves through generations of fans. The Champions League semifinal between Inter Milan and Barcelona was chaos incarnate. 13 goals, 2 dramatic comebacks, 1 extra time dagger, and a million heartbeats in sync with madness. It ended with Inter Milan rising from the wreckage, victorious, exhausted, and Munich bound. Final score, Inter Milan 4, Barcelona 3, 7-6 on aggregate. And breathe. This wasn't just a semi-final. It was an operatic crescendo of elite European football, a match that will echo in the halls of Champions League history. For Barcelona, it was heartbreak laced with heroism. For Inter, it was an immortal night fueled by guts, grit, and a decibel-breaking home crowd that refused to let their side fall. The setup, advantage Inter, but only slightly Inter, arrived with a 3-3 draw from the first leg at Camp Nou, a scoreline that felt generous after 90 minutes of relentless Catalan pressure. Back in Milan, the Nerazzurri were energized, focused, and most of all ready for a battle. The San Siro, a cathedral of Italian football, buzzed with anticipation. Every shout, every drumbeat, every whistle carried weight. And then the storm began. First half, tactical brilliance, clinical execution. Inter struck first with brutal simplicity and surgical speed. In the 27th minute, Federico Di Marco pressed high and dispossessed Dani Olmo in midfield. The turnover caught Barca's backline off guard. Di Marco swept the ball wide to Denzel Dumfries, who drove hard and squared across the box for Lautaro Martínez. The Argentine calmly slotted home into a vacant net. San Siro shook. Then just before halftime, Inter doubled their advantage. Lautaro, a constant menace, drew a penalty, and Hakan Çalhanoglu converted with precision. At 2-0, Inter looked in control. Barcelona, meanwhile, looked stunned, 2 goals down and teetering. But this is Barcelona. If there's one thing they know, it's how to fight. Second half, the comeback kings strike again. Barcelona roared into the second half like a team possessed. In the 52nd minute, Eric Garcia delivered a moment of brilliance, curling a one-time volley past Jan Sommer that gave Barca hope and broke open the match again. 6 minutes later, Gerard Martin, Barcelona's unlikely hero of the night, curled in a perfect cross that Dani Olmo buried with a clinical header. Just like that, it was 2-2 on the night and 5-5 on aggregate. The pendulum had swung and the pressure was back on Inter. The chaos only escalated. 87th minute, Raphinha rips. It opened with just 3 minutes of regulation remaining. Raphinha cut inside and fired past Sommer. The Brazilian strike felt like the death blow. Barcelona, who had come back from the brink once more, were 3-2 up on the night and 6-5 on aggregate. It looked over, but Inter wasn't done, not by a long shot. 93rd minute, Acerbi, the unexpected savior. Step forward, Francesco Acerbi, a central defender with 0 goals this season and little expectation to score when it mattered most. In a scramble following a set piece, Acerbi pounced. He smashed the ball into the roof of the net, ripped off his shirt, and sprinted into legend. The San Siro erupted like Vesuvius. We were headed to extra time, tied 6-6. Extra time, Frattesi, writes the final chapter. If regulation time was madness, extra time was delirium. Both teams looked spent, but Inter dug deeper. In the 99th minute, substitute Davide Frattesi delivered a moment of magic. It was A sweeping team move that began with Çalhanoglu and ended with Frattesi pausing inside the box as if time slowed before slotting the ball home. Cue bedlam, cue euphoria. "I don't know how I scored the goal," Frattesi told CBS with a mix of disbelief and joy. "I told Marcus Thuram, we passed, don't worry." When asked why he took his time before shooting, Frattesi laughed. "Maybe because I was thinking if I don't score, I'm fucked." Summer slams the door. Shut Barcelona, desperate and determined, had one final golden chance. Lamine Yamal found himself in space and unleashed a wicked shot. But Inter's Swiss wall, Jan Sommer, was there again. Stretching, reacting, saving. It was his 10th major save of the night, and the most crucial. "We saw a lot of video of Yamal cutting inside," Sommer explained afterward. "I knew it was coming. That save gave us the belief to finish it." The collapse of Barcelona. It's hard to find fault with Barcelona's courage. They came back not once, but twice. They played beautiful, daring football. But this semi-final will be remembered for their inability to close. For all their firepower and flair, Barcelona's Achilles heel, a leaky, sometimes disorganized defense, reared its head again at the worst possible time. This team, the best in Spain, arguably the best in Europe this season,